her as Kelly Kapoor from The Office,
Yeah.
or Mindy from The Mindy Project, which I also love. This book is a collection of personal essays by Mindy. Some of them are just her opinions on things like the rules for karaoke, or why she thinks Jewish guys are best. However, it's also a collection of her life, because that's what a biography is. And so, the piece that I picked is called from a chapter called Day Jobs, where she explains how she got to where she is now. Also, this weather has brought me some delightful breathing problems, so don't judge me too much unless you think it makes for a cool, unintentional effect. So, this is called Caring for the Poor. No, it's called Caring for the Young and Eating Their Food. So, by placing hundreds of neon green flyers all over the wealthiest neighborhoods of Brooklyn and Manhattan, I finally got a job babysitting. I was paying my $600 portion of the rent by taking care of two adorable girls named Dylan and Haley. Dylan and Haley were from a wealthy family in Brooklyn Heights. Not wealthy in the simply went to private school way, wealthy in the each had her own floor of historic brownstone in Brooklyn Heights and wore organic clothing way. I guess crazy loaded might be the more accurate way to say it. Their dad invented the internet or something, not Al Gore, but every time I walked into their mansion on Pineapple Street, I thought to myself, this is the house that invented the internet built. Dylan and Haley's parents divorced years ago, and I never met internet inventor Dad. I only interacted with gorgeous internet inventor Mary and Mom, who looked like a slightly older Alicia Keys. Internet inventor Mary and Mom hired me on nights where she would go on dates, or when she had plans for a girls' night with her all-black, all-glamorous friends. Later, I read that internet inventor Dad had been seriously dating an internationally famous supermodel. They rolled high. If my babysitting stint were going on now, they would have a dynasty of Bravo shows in which I would be the pixelated chaperone escorting the girls to Knicks games. Once, internet inventor Mary and Mom gave me a bottle of unopened Clinique Happy, which someone had given her and she knew she'd never use. It's not fancy or anything, she said sheepishly, as though she'd given me a bottle of Lady Musk by Walmart. What is this world, I thought. Clinique isn't fancy anymore? Now, I was a little worried going into babysitting because though I have the voice of an 11-year-old girl, I have no natural rapport with children. I'm just not one of those women who melts when an infant enters the room and automatically knows all the right age-specific questions to ask. I usually assume the wrong things and end up offending someone. Does he speak yet? Does what he say make sense, or is it more like gurgle babble? Also, I'm generally worried that I'll scratch the kid with my fingernail or something. So, I'm the one who looks at the infant, smiles nervously, and as my contribution to small talk robotically announces to the parent, your child looks healthy and well cared for. So, it was surprising that I killed it as a babysitter. Maybe killed it is a wrong and potentially troubling way to express what I want to say. But the point is, I was an excellent babysitter. It helped that the kids thought I was a genius. And it was easy to seem like a genius when helping them with their homework. For instance, one night I explained that the mockingbird in the title To Kill a Mockingbird was actually a symbol for the character Boo Radley. Dylan looked at me with wonder. Why are you babysitting us, she asked. Why are you not teaching at a college? I also knew what little girls want to talk about, which is boy bands. Hale and I would sit for hours discussing which member of NSYNC we would want to marry. And after long deliberation, the answer was always
JC.
JC Chasez. Joey Fatone's last name was always going to be a fat one, no matter how big. And And Justin Timberlake, well, JT was the coolest and the hottest, but too flashy, which meant we couldn't trust him to be faithful. We could talk like this in complete, unironic seriousness for hours. The reason I was a better babysitter than most was because I would never rush them. In me, they had an open-minded listener to every pro and con of spending the rest of their lives with each member of NSYNC. I may have gotten more out of it than they did. When the kids went to bed, the real fun began. Me turning on Showtime at the Apollo in their tricked-out den and going to town on all the kid-friendly food. Now, kid-friendly food is the best because kid-friendly simply means total garbage. I ate frozen chicken nuggets shaped like animals, fruit chews shaped like fruit, and fruit shaped like cubes in syrup. I discovered that kids hate for any food to resemble the form it was in nature. They're onto something though, because that processed garbage was insanely delicious. I spent some excellent Saturday nights watching Monique strutting on stage while eating a handful of children's chewable vitamins and wrapping myself up in my boss's cashmere kimono. I did it so much that it became a problem. One evening after her bath, Haley pulled me aside, racked with guilt. Mommy wanted to know who ate all the turtle-shaped bagel pizzas, and I knew it was you, but I told her it was me. Oh, she burst into tears. I hugged her, and I told her, you can never tell her the truth. And I let her stay up an extra hour watching Liz McGuire. Brides and boy bands. That's all you need to be